there's a lot of stuff in here. All the tea.
Okay, that's fine. Not working on Instagram today, but we're still going to stay alive. We're still going to keep on doing it. So today we got a subject to hybrid. Just for those of you that have not seen our latest podcast episode on affordablehousing.com, affordablehousing.io, we have a new podcast episode with John Chan, one of my private money partners. He's also been a private money lender. He's been a part of like 28 deals, if I remember correctly. But if you want to get inside the head on how someone decides whether or not they partner with somebody, whether or not they want to lend on a deal, this is going to be a great podcast to watch. Don't forget, John also has a podcast called The Road to One. Talks a lot of guests right now just on how they got the first deal. I think it's amazing. So give it a listen. I always admire people that are starting out, that are giving content a try, but more importantly, they want to stay consistent with it. So hopefully he gives you some inspiration for you to start your own podcast, for you to start your own channel, and let's keep making each other better. All right. So today we got a subject to hybrid deal. So a subject to hybrid deal is when there is two parts, right? We've analyzed deals that talks about a subject to deal where we're buying a property and we are taking over the loan subject to existing financing. So we're not assuming the loan, we're taking over the payments. Now, if there is an equity portion of it, right, which typically happens, the purchase price is a lot higher than a mortgage. So in this scenario, you see that the purchase price is $216,000, but the mortgage we're taking over is $156,000. So there's still a delta, right? There's still equity in that piece. So that's why we also have a seller carry portion. And I'm going to show you how to put this into our calculator today, right? And just see whether or not it's going to cash flow. So 2031, this means this has a roughly, call it 7-year balloon, right? Because it's 2024 right now. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and plug this detail in. So let's see if I get this photo. I'm going to assume this property is rent ready because maybe there's some touch-up paint. Let's see if we can get the square footage. 1102 square feet. Do I see anything on Zillow? Let's see. Off market here. Got some more photos here. This was probably 3 years ago when it was first done. Okay, this is what is this? This is a 2-bed, 1-bath, 1,100 square feet. I'm really surprised they didn't turn this into a 3-bed. I wonder if you just turn this into a 3-bed, right? This dining room area, but unless you're blocking off to something else, just keep that in mind. All right, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get a couple of things. First is I'm going to determine what my rent is going to be. So I'm going to Google county, and then this is in Fannin County. So I'm going to Google HUD FMR. On HUD FMR, I'm going to look up fair market rents. That's what FMR stands for. I'm going to click on access to small area FMRs. I'm going to look up FY 2024 FMRs. I'm going to Georgia, and I'm going to Fannin County and see how it doesn't even have Fannin County. This is probably a really rural area. So small area didn't work. Let's go ahead and look up the regular FMRs. Click here for FY 2024 FMRs. Go to Georgia. Go to Fannin. There it is. So this area is so small they don't break it out by zip code. They just kind of have it as a blanket one for all of the 2 bedrooms and 3 bedrooms. And you can see right here that the rent ceiling is $885 apparently. $885, and your 3-bed is $1,247. Big jump from a big jump. I'm just gonna call it Fannin County. I'm not gonna put in the zip code. So a little bit different, right, than what we've seen. Typically, I like to look for the zip code, but this might be a really, really rural area. So this is why they don't break it out by zip code. Maybe because they didn't think it was worth their time. This is the 2-bed, and this is the 3-bed. Okay, so now I'm going to look up my rents for a 2-bedroom, and I'm going to look up for a 3-bedroom. I want to see what the lift looks like for the market. Now, I need to look up the market rent because I need to compare the two, right? Obviously, we've been talking a lot about the rent reasonableness test, but the first thing I want to do is go to affordablehousing.com. I'm going to the owner section, market rent estimator, plug in the address, plug in the bedroom count, And now I'm going to have, oh, this is weird. By bedroom count, by zip code. Not by zip code, but 1620. That's really high. And this is why I don't trust this thing. I can see why it's so rural. There's barely any rental units. They had to go 14 miles. 14 miles to get 21 units to get 1620. So that doesn't give me a ton of confidence on what I can rent it out as right now, 1620. So with my ceiling rent at 885, that's probably what I'm going to have to use for this property, not 1620, because this is 14 miles. That's not a comp. 14 miles. That's really, really far. All right, so let me just look at the 3-bedroom. Let's see how crazy this gets. 2605. And this is a 7.5 mile radius. Man, this is a weird area. 2612, 2443, and 2443. Okay, and zip code. All right, so for today, for the purposes of using Section 8, I'll use the lower of the two, and this scenario, I'll be using the ceiling of 885. Just remember, right, that probably includes some utilities, but I'm going to use the whole number here because I already know it's not going to cash flow, right? When I compare 885 with a total monthly payment of 1423, I already know I'm going to lose money. So I already know this is not a deal. So in certain situations, you can say, hey, I'm going to stop analyzing this deal right now, right? If your exit strategy is Section 8. If it's market rate, you probably want to go into a deeper dive and look for properties around that area. So if this property is in 30560, let's go to Google Maps, right? Let's see. If that's what I was trying to do, let's see where I am. Morganton, all the way out here. 30560. I'm gonna look for rentals. I'm gonna look for two bedroom units. And there's barely anything around here. Let me remove the boundary. 2300 here. 2800. These are all cabins. These are not. You're not gonna find really good comps for properties around here. Maybe you can get to this one, but it's an apartment. It's on the other side, so it's going to be hard for you to figure out what the comp is. So for now, if you go into Blue Ridge, then you might get something a little bit closer, but these are, again, all apartments. So you might get to about 1900 over here, but Morganton, man, this is hard to find a comp here. So that's going to give you increased risk, right? So one, if I know I'm in a mountain area and I think it's going to be harder to find help or harder to find a rental, be really, really mindful about what you're putting out here, okay? But for the meantime, I'm going to use 885 for the property. And sometimes you want to see what the demand is looking like. Let's see. This property. How many contacts they've had? This property has been on Zillow for 7 days and 1 contact, 0 application. So that tells me it's not that hot for 2300. How about this one? A 1400. This property has been on Zillow for 94 days. It has 50 contacts and 0 applications. So somebody also doesn't think this is worth $13.95, right? Another way to think about it is general rule of thumb. You want to have at least one for every day you've been on a market. You want to have at least 1 contact. That's how you can tell whether you're overpriced, underpriced. If you have less than that, chances are you're also overpriced. So this all kind of floats back to the fact that I think, hey, 1400 is probably a little bit too high. I can see why they put the rent ceiling at 885 because there's no true action on this 1400 for 2-bed. All right, so that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and actually see how much money you can lose on this deal. All right, because let's walk through the entire number. $216,000. We have a renovation here of, I'm just going to assume I need to paint the place. I'm assuming it's livable, it's rent ready because someone's living there right now. And this property was 1,100 square feet. Okay, I'm going to do 1,100 square feet. I'm going to my rehab calculator. I'm going to go to row 6, leave my $1,500 in there for my roof patching, anything like that I can't see from photos. $500 for some landscaping and keep it nice and clean. I'm going to do 1,100 square feet at $3 a square foot to paint the place, just to kind of touch up everything, make it look nice. I always try to replace at least the high pressure flush toilets for $450 each, so that I don't get clogged toilet calls. This gives me total rehab of $1,600. Not bad, right? not bad. I'm just gonna leave that to the side. Now, after that, I got 85 from rent, and now I'm gonna plug in the details. I want to show you how I'm gonna plug it in. All right, so if I go to the right-hand side of the spreadsheet, I got $156,000, 725.28. That is the subject to loan that I'm taking over the payments for, right? And now I'm going to have my mortgage, my seller financing piece, and the secondary piece, 37,566. I'm going to plug that right in. 0% interest rate, 7-year balloon. But they say I should be making $450, right? So if you calculate, it doesn't make sense. What you need to do is just go to what I do all the time. I take the total payment and I put this into B28, 1423.03. And I'm going to subtract the principal portion of the subject to loan minus the interest portion of the subject to loan minus the principal portion of the subject to loan, right? If you amortize this over 30 years, right, you're not going to get $450 for the seller financing piece. But the point is, for the purpose of the exercise, is to quickly realize whether or not you're going to cash flow on this deal. And by using this number right here, I can back into what my estimated property taxes are, what my insurance estimates are. And then I'm going to add extra $30 of insurance every single month, because chances are I'm converting a primary residence into a investment property. So it's going to cost more money. After I set aside 10% for my maintenance every single month, set aside 10% for my property management, I got 5% for my vacancy. That's going to leave me with a total negative cash flow, right? If I rent it out for $885, I didn't even include utilities, because $885 includes utilities. So I know this is a big loser already, and I'm just not going to analyze this deal any further, right? This is not a deal. So this is why I would not go after this deal, right? Obviously, this is not investment advice. I'm not soliciting any investments on this call. Just showing you guys all the work that I'm doing every single day as we get 1% better, right? The skill I've been working on this year is the skill of no excuses. Right now, today is my wife's birthday, and I'm still going live. So this is what we're talking about when we talk about consistency. Are you going to make excuses to not do the work, or are you just going to do it? I hope you all just do it. You guys want to copy the spreadsheet, right? And we went through a subject to hybrid deal today. What you guys can do is go to affordablehousing.io, and then you guys can go to get deal analysis tool. Plug your name, your email, your phone number, click on get free deal analysis tool. And that is the quickest and fastest way for you to get a copy of the spreadsheet. And this will allow you to just copy my homework, right? Analyze the same deal I analyzed today using the same spreadsheet, using the same deal, right? The deal details are right here. I put it right here. Just put it on your YouTube channel, because that's how you build confidence that you know what you're doing. When you do this analysis every single day, you will inevitably get better at analyzing a deal, and you'll build confidence in yourself that you know what you're doing. All right. Thank you so much. I hope you guys have an amazing Monday. I hope you guys spend some quality time with your family and friends today, because I know I'm going to. I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you back here tomorrow for day 318. Have a good one, everybody.